Welcome to Two Dudes in Review. I'm Luke.
And I'm Matt.
Today we are going to be reviewing Batman Begins. Batman Begins is the first movie in the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy, which it's his adaptation of Batman. The movie starts off with non-linear timelines going back and forth, different cutscenes between Bruce Wayne when he was very young and showing his relationship with his father and showing his parents getting murdered outside the movie theater. It also cuts to him in a foreign prison where he's beating up other people and his eventual joining of the League of Shadows, which is almost secret organization, I would call it. Shadows, secretive.
Trained by Ra's al Ghul.
After all that training with Batman, you see him becoming Batman, how he gets all of his gadgets and gizmos and his training, obviously. And then he goes and starts to fight crime in his home city of Gotham, where the main mobster there is Falcone. Along with that, there is another villain, Scarecrow, who uses chemical gases to turn people enraged or fearful. So that makes them violent, acting out, and Batman has to try stopping them.
You guys know the game. We each give it a score, give the movie a score, 1 to 10, and we also guess each other's scores, and whoever's guess is further off from the actual score has to pick something out of the tin and do a punishment. For you, I guess that you'd give it an 8.5.
For you, I guess you would give it... Wait, look at me first. Yep, I was right. A 6.8.
Okay. I'm sure that motorcycle can be heard.
Damn you.
All right. So, what did you think?
This was the first time I've seen the whole entire movie from start to finish in a while. I've just seen it, like every time it's on TV, I'll almost always will just like throw it on, have it playing. And the beginning part, like I forgot like how long it takes to actually see Batman on the
Yes.
on the screen.
Yeah, I agree.
I completely forgot about that. Like an hour in.
I've watched it a bunch of times, and this is the first time where I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I love all the Dark Knight trilogy, and I agree completely. It was the first time where I was like, "This is too long to not see Batman." Which usually I'm just like so into the plot, but this was the first time where I agree. Yeah.
I love that it takes all that time. Like, I think Batman could have came in a lot sooner, but it's cool that it takes all this time to devote showing how Batman became Batman. Because really no other movies do that at all. Like, some of them will show his parents' funeral or his parents getting killed, but that's really all they will show.
Right.
They don't show him how he got his gadgets or anything like that. I think that's really cool. And also just the real world perspective of it, like how he's get all of his technology from just ended projects from Wayne Enterprise.
Yeah, and like army stuff.
Yeah.
Something that the trilogy does a great job of, including this movie, is, well, first of all, character development, which is what you like kind of touched on there. Like the first half of the movie is really just really showing us who Bruce Wayne is, so you get to know like where he's coming from, and you really start to like him because of that. The other thing that this movie does well is the villains are all awesome, all three movies, including the Scarecrow, who's like the main villain in this movie, or like the most like traditional comic book.
I'd say Ra's al Ghul's the more the main villain in this one.
Yeah.
That's who his final showdowns with.
Right. But the Scarecrow's a beast in it.
And like something else that is a complaint, the fight scenes I noticed, it's a lot of cutting going on in them.
Got a serious itchy eye going on right now.
Start washing your hands after you poop. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that's it. It's not the allergies. All right.
But back to what I was saying, just the fight scenes, it's a lot of cutting going on, and it's a little disorienting. You don't really know what's going on at first. Because when Batman first gets introduced, I like it. With all the cutting going on, it makes a really cool reveal when you actually do see him in his full costume. But after that part in the movie, I think that it should have been more longer takes going on in between each one and just seeing more fights actually happening. That's where like the newer Batmans that
It's like long choreographed.
Yeah, the fights in that I think are a lot cooler compared to these ones.
Yeah. You can definitely tell when watching this that it's like the first. It's like the setup. But I think for a setup movie, it's a pretty dang good one.
Another complaint.
Jeez.
What?
Hate this movie.
I don't hate it. It's just I noticed stuff actually for once.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't really know if it's just the character of Bruce Wayne in Batman, but Christian Bale just seems kind of boring as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Could you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely of the three. Third one, he's kind of mean. What's up?
We're busy. Get out of here. You creep. I hate people.
It's my dad.
No, that's Tommy.
Was it?
I think so. Looks like Tommy.
I didn't see anyone. I just claimed it was my dad.
Actually,
I haven't seen my dad in months.
thought that was Tommy. It'd be weird if I call your dad a creep. Oh well.
See where my dad was living with us again.
Look, do you think he was boring? Like he doesn't really show expression
Yeah.
too often?
Yeah, of the three, he's the most boring. I like the one scene with him and Lucius Fox where he's getting the Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
He like gets excited in that scene.
Yeah, but just for Christian Bale and all the roles that he's had, like
Right.
American Psycho, I think he can do a lot more
Yeah.
than what he does do in this one. A little flat.
One thing about Christian Bale though in this movie, I like the character Bruce Wayne. I like his relationship with Alfred in this movie because he kind of like takes over as his dad. Like he's always there to help him when Batman gets beat up. He's always the one helping him out of situations, and he also took care of him after his parents died. So like you get to see all that, which that makes it interesting. Bruce Wayne and Christian
A
Bale.
lot more of it being just a setup.
Yeah.
Good backstory in this movie.
Yeah, I guess. Yes.
Yes.
All right, Hamill. I guessed 8.5 for you.
Mm-hmm.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 7.6.
0.9 off.
Mm-hmm. I guess you would give it a 6.8.
And I gave it an 8.3. 1.5?
So I'm winning?
No.
Sure.
You have 1.5, I have 0.9. All right. So I got a 0.6 lead on Luke going into the game 2. So come back, watch the review of Jaws to see us in that final showdown.